Libras, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for April 25th through the 1st of May, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Libra, this week's very straightforward. We got Mercury going retrograde, and it's all of this emphasis of your 7th house of relationships. It's been a lot of emphasis on here lately with the sun in your 7th house. I think you can be gaining energy, gaining prana by relating with others. Some of you could be forming new relationships in a couple weeks with the new moon in that 7th house. But it's a good area for you to be focused on. And for some of you too, in terms of where you can have more of that mutual respect, mutual understanding, basically all this stuff that comes very natural to you Librans anyways. So now there's a reflection with this, and I think the pausing point will be on Thursday when Mercury goes station. So for the next few weeks up and through May 22nd, there's this reflection on relationships. Where can you rethink your perspective on them? Where can you rehash some things that maybe you've been involved with in terms of partnerships? You know, for some of you, maybe legal matters, these kinds of things. So it's a good time on Thursday to just sit with the energy and you know, just pause for a second and reflect on it, because for these next few weeks, it's a good time to try new things, be open, be malleable, and be adaptive when it comes to learning through relationships and partnerships. Now, one thing I do want to say is that Mercury does also rule your 9th and your 12th house. So anytime Mercury goes retrograde, it's also a reflection of your guys' life path and your philosophy. And it's a good time to be rethinking that stuff as well. And also, too, in terms of where you can get more of that alone time, that spiritual time out, which is Mercury ruling the 12th. So some things to think about in regards to that. And this is, too, coming off of last week, which had that full moon in your 12th, helping you see the importance of that alone time or spiritual time out and the peace in your life that comes through that acceptance. So whatever that was last week, I think it's a great week to be implementing those energies, because we will be in the third quarter phase of that, which is about putting that into motion, putting that into action, living in presence or whatever it might be, having more of that peace or doing whatever is necessary for you to have more of that tranquility in your life. Now, your ruler Venus is going to be changing signs this week, so as the second half of the week unfolds, I think it's really going to be emphasized on relationships, because the first half of the week has your ruler still in the 6th. So I think it's still great for the routine, the health, the diet, the regiments, the work, whatever it is you've been doing on that daily level. But as the second half unfolds, there's definitely this shift of not only are you focused on those relationships, but there's a good intention with them. You know, it's you're in the relationship sphere. It could be externally, maybe there's more relationships and more opportunities in that department for you to learn more about yourself through. Because the first house ruler in the 7th is that, you know, you're really learning about yourself through relationships, and others are learning about you, and there's that strong synergy between the 1st and the 7th house. So whatever that is, I think it's just going to emphasize the interrelationship side of things even more as we go into next week. But remembering to just be adaptive, try new things, and experiment with the whole process is key. Now, going into the weekend, the sun does sextile up to Neptune, so there's a bit of this easygoingness over the weekend. And I think specifically this is for either your friends or groups or community things, which has been so important for you guys to be cultivating with the North Node and Jupiter in that 11th house. And since the sun rules that here with Neptune, maybe easy going with those relationships. Maybe easy going with your partnerships, whatever it might be there. Seeing that there is this opportunity to let go, have that unconditionality in them perhaps, or let go in terms of the outcomes of them or whatever it might be, which can lead to a tremendous peace and tranquility and sensitivity even in those relationships over the weekend. All right, so that's the week in a nutshell. Definitely this emphasis on the retrograde Mercury, rethinking, redoing relationship stuff. You're gaining energy here with the sun. You're definitely going to be focused more on them by the second half of the week with your ruler Venus in that 7th. And this third quarter phase is all about implementing, I think, where you can have a bit more of this tranquil energy relating to life in general, and maybe specifically with letting go and having more of that acceptance, peace, and presence in relationships. All right, Libra, so I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.